Software normalization. Assist ITAM allows you to categorize installed software based on manufacturer, product, category, or type. The software is shipped with a preset set of normalization rules, and they're updated when we have any new releases. However, we can create our own rules for normalization. The benefits are we can categorize things better, and a lot of software, even though we try our best to get it correct, is actually classed as unknown when we first get it. So what we need to do is to make it fit into the best category we can using normalization. In the following video, we'll show you how to do that. One of the screens you'll see in the video is the ability to create rules based on a logical condition or a regular expression, and we'll explain how that's done. You can see a screenshot of how it will take place. In this example, we're going to talk about software normalization. It's a pretty big topic, but the joy is once you've done it one thing once, the rest of it's done the same way, just for different things. Let's first of all go to inventory and installed software. And when I do that, I get my dashboard as normal. But what I want to do is click on the software tab to look at the software. Lots of software, as you'd expect. And you'll see we've got the name, the vendor, and I've got a manufacturer that happens to be unknown for Active Client X64. I've got one for AMD and so on and so forth. And I've got unknown in different places. The point of normalization is I can now normalize and create a manufacturer for unknown. I could then potentially create and normalize a category for this particular piece of software. And I could then normalize against the type of software it happens to be. To do this very, very, very simply, and I'm going to do this based on this 64 HBCIO installer, I know everything apart from the type. So what I can actually do here is select this thing, change the type. Now I know it's a driver and utility, and I want to make it, for example, open source. I have the ability now to click on the normalize button, and it will automatically change that piece of software from unknown to be open source. So I can do things as quickly as that if I wish, but as you can imagine, that's a long-winded way of doing things if you've got lots of unknown stuff. Notice, for the big stuff, it knows it's all Adobe, it does it for us. But I'm not happy to have Active Client unknown as a manufacturer, and I've investigated to find out that Active Client X64 is made by Active Software. So what I want to do is to create Active Software as a manufacturer. To do that, we go to Settings. We go to Software Normalization. It brings up all of the, as you can see, the families that exist. So I don't have one for Active Software, so I'm going to create one. So I click on Add, and I'm going to call it, believe it or not, Active Software. I've now got my, shall we call them, a family of active software has been created. And they're all going to live on there somewhere, probably page 2. That's fine, they're there. Maybe page 3, they're there somewhere. Let's not get too stressed over it. There it is, active software. Now we need to determine what's going to go into and what active software actually supply. So what we're going to do is jump into software normalization rules. And we're going to add in a new one. And what we're going to do is we're going to add in, let's call it active software, a logical condition, and what we need to do now is to write the condition. I then need to determine what rule is going to have to be. So what do I know? Well, I know, for example, that the software description contains or is equal to, I think it was equal to, so my software description is equal to, if I type in ACT, it actually validates and finds me the value I want, which is going to be active client. So I haven't got to stress too much about remembering what I've got. It'll actually give me that information anyway. I'm going to add that to the subrule. So it tells me my little condition is description is equal to active client, which is exactly correct for active software. We can certainly write much more advanced scripts than that should we need to. So when you get involved in things like HP and Hewlett-Packard and H.P and H.P packet, all these things we're going to think about. The normalization fields I want to care about at the minute is going to be the manufacturer. So what I'm going to do is tick the little plus there. That's when I want to activate. Oh, for active software. So ACT, it finds me active software. That's what I want to normalize. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to do category and type and product, you would have to go in and create different rules for each of those things based on what we're doing. Here, we've got 3 tick boxes. Luckily, there's help. So again, do I want to renormalize? Yes, I do. Do I want to include manually normalized, denormalized? There's an information about it. Do I? No, I don't. Auto approval for normalization. Do I like to approve that? Again, a little bit of help. You noticed at the side there some of the little green buttons we saw earlier. So yes, I want to do that. And rule execution priority can be high, medium, low, normal. Normal will suffice. Upon completion, we click on save. We've now got a normalization rule for active software. So if we go back to our inventory of installed software, I click on the software tab to look at my software. You will notice that the software of active client, vendor is active identity, manufacturer is unknown. So what I want to update that information. So to update it and check I've done it correctly, I'm going to click on the 2 buttons that have now appeared that appeared earlier. So you notice those buttons appeared within the help. One is run auto-approve rules. One is to run software for normalization. That's what we want to do. So we click the button. I'm going to do what I've got to do. We click OK. A few minutes have passed and the approve software for normalization has appeared with the list of all the things that I can now approve should I need to. Notice active client x64. I want to approve active software. These are the ones I've not updated as part of my normalization, so I'm not too stressed about that because I didn't do those. Bearing in mind, as I said earlier, if you want a rule that covers all of them, you can do, but it's a tough rule to do. Otherwise, you do them individually. I'm happy with what I've done there. So at the bottom of the screen, I want to approve that. If I decided to approve Adobe Flash Player as well, to be Adobe and Adobe Create Cloud and these other ones, I can quite happily accept those as well, should I need to. Notice though, it does default and fills in these unknowns. We know they're not right, but it's not a disaster for the moment. We click on approve. The software has been mapped successfully and all of these amendments will now take place. And now my active client, vendor is active identity, manufacturer, active software. If I wanted to do now category, as we said earlier, we can easily, on an ad hoc basis, change category from unknown to whatever I wanted it to be. But that's on an ad hoc basis. It's not going to apply across the whole estate for what we need to do.